It's Monday, the bourse has shown losses. It's midweek. Are you expecting it to continue through to Friday?
Most likely that trend will continue till Friday. What has been seen from 2 weeks on now. Over last week, we had the Nigerian Stock Exchange marginally go up a bit Thursday and Friday last week. But over the long term, we see to the end of this week, we probably have that the bears still remain in the market. The all-share index today closed at 21,204.51 points. In that, we had 44 losers, 23 gainers, and 60 stocks remaining flat, which is part of the reason the activity in the market is still a bit low. Also, turning to this fact, we also had the top highly capitalized banks in highly capitalized banks all gained today, and overall, in the top gainers category, we had international breweries, ASO Savings, which gained the maximum 5%. We also had Oceanic Bank, which gained 4.95%. In the top losers category, we had 7-Up, Portland Paints, and Red Star Express, which lost the maximum 5%. So overall, it was a dull day again in the market today. Expect this trend to continue to the end of the week.
Now let's take a look at PenCon. Pensions collected under the new pensions reforms will be invested in the bond market. Why is that?
Well, it's all part of the long-term plan of deepening the bond market. We heard the CBN governor. They started this with First Bank of Nigeria saying they were going to raise about 500 billion naira in the corporate bond market. So this is also a step ahead too, with the PenCon saying that it's going to, a huge part of their investments will be tiered towards the corporate bond market. Previously, before we had this, but investment in corporate bond investment by pension fund assets, investment in corporate bond market had been quite low. But with this statement of fact going on from next year, we'll see a further deepening of the corporate bond market in Nigeria, and that should hopefully translate to some infrastructural growth in the end too.
Would you say that there is a shift in the way investors think in Nigeria at the moment in terms of the equity markets, because you're seeing a trend where people prefer the bond market more?
Not at the moment, because we're expecting that this bond market, the inflow into the bond market, when the investments are getting into the bond market, will start maybe next year, early next year. But right now, the investment in the equities is as a result of what the general feel of the equity market, not as a result of change of mindset or investment plans towards the bond market. It's as a result of what's going on in the market. That's why the equity market is at the lull right now. We have presently right now we have banks coming towards the same year end, which is December, and a lot of liquidity is being held on by the banks, and they're not really borrowing. We've had reduced borrowing to manufacturers too, which has affected the stock market. So it is not as a result of the bond market deepening. It's just as a result of the conditions in the market as of now.